Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, Iron Sheik 84, and I'm not on screen, and I don't have the stream up to be able to point in the right direction. But somewhere is Lee Brown from Champions Chat, and somewhere else on the screen is Slim Numbers. So, good morning, gentlemen. How are y'all doing?
I'm doing well. Yeah, this is our first time where nobody but me is on audio, but that means I get to play with some layout things. So we do have the chat right here for those of you who are on YouTube land. This is the Twitch chat. We're usually streaming right now on Wednesdays about 9 Mountain Time, give or take. Got a great little title belt. See, whoop, right there that A Biggs made me. Big thank you for that. And then along the bottom here, you can see how to find us on YouTube and on Twitch. And then we'll talk as we go in the stream later. But we now have an official merch store for Champions Chat, so you can see it right there. It's http:// with no www, because whatever, that doesn't work for some reason. Championschat.shop. So just championschat.shop. But Slim, how are you doing?
Doing good. How are we doing? I'm
Yeah, I said good. Go ahead.
yeah, just good. I'm so awkward with greetings and hellos and stuff.
Well,
I'm good, man. I'm on my third cup of coffee, doing a whole bunch of research on Shiny John Cena, Chain Gang
ooh,
Edition.
he's very good. Triple red, and you're good. Anyway, he's the only guy in the game that I know of, or at least that I use on a regular basis, that once you throw out like the cross break 8th anniversary plate, then you do the move that buffs multiply gems. He also buffs those multiply gems. Don't tell Scopely.
He
Don't
does.
fix it. Don't let him fix it. Anyway, what's up, Chef Barwiqua? What's up, being Hajam? Thank you. I don't know if I look like Adam Pierce, but I could shave my head and we could see. I don't know. All right, so the topic of the day, we are going to hit on that thing that happened yesterday. But first, we're just going to kind of talk about Hall of Fame, right? So usually in January, historically, we've kind of had Hall of Fame months. Sometimes it's all out Hall of Fame months, and sometimes it's just like wedged in there the way like the Turtles or Tekken events get wedged into other things. This was a wedge month, which was weird for a 3-week event to have that. But hey, the gears, first off, just flat, no what happened later attached. The gears are really stinking cool. And at the very least, you were able to get 3 out of the 6 just for playing slash free. We're just careful how we say free on things because that means different things to different people. So I love the gears. I love what they do. Slim, I know you've got videos on most of the characters, if not all of them. I've got videos on all of them except for poor Rey Mysterio, and I know you're going to talk about him later, so we can get there. But just without the other thing that happened just yet, we'll get to that. How'd you feel about Hall of Fame event in the midst of a short MLC?
I'm a fan.
Okay.
I think so. Hall of Fames are cool, but I every January I do feel kind of burnt on the Hall of Fame thing, so to speak. And it's because there almost feels like there is a delineation with the Hall of Fames. Um, let me pull up all of them real quick. But do you remember when like X Pac came out and Hall of Fame Macho came out? I think it was 2023.
X-Pac was
They
great
came out.
at that
He
time.
was. But they came out with the gold token Hall of Fames instead of the bronze token Hall of Fames.
Yeah.
The gold token Hall of Fames are the good Hall of Fames, and the bronze token Hall of Fames are barely usable. And
Right.
I know that there is like, well, you're forgetting about Hall of Fame China and all the blah blah blahs. And yeah, I know. But for the most part, the gold Hall of Fame token Hall of Famers are good, and the bronze ones are not so good. And it seems like there's like a clear split between the two. So an entire Hall of Fame months when I didn't have a whole bunch of gold token Hall of Fames, they were slogs because everybody I had to use was kind of not the greatest. Condensing all of that into 1 week, much better. Because I still
Yeah.
like the idea of Hall of Fames. They're cool, cool cards. But a whole month of them is. I have a problem with a whole month of zombies, and zombies are much cooler than the Hall of Fame.
I don't have a problem with that, but I get where you're going. Just though, real quick, for those who are new to the game, because there are a lot of new players in this game, which is fantastic. When we talk about Gold Hall of Fame versus the old Bronze ones, we're not talking about their gear. They're the tokens that you need to take them up. Months ago, earlier in 2025, they changed it to where the Hall of Famers use regular tokens now, but prior to that, they had their own special tokens. And man, it was one of those things where if you had them, you had them, but if you didn't, like, you're like, great, I have the best character in the game, and it has to. It's kind of like hype, basically. Like, imagine you couldn't get hype for that person. Same thing, except for tokens. You could not get tokens for some of the Gold Hall of Fames. But Sheik, you're on the road. You're our roving correspondent. What is your thoughts on this? Implementation so far before we start talking about the other part of it.
Well, I mean, one of the big drawbacks of the Hall of Fames was they've always been kind of just okay. And then if you had both years, then they were above average. But there were very few, such as GBL, Ron Simmons, and a few others that were just amazing straight out of the box. Getting these platinum gears has been interesting. I don't know if they're going to introduce a new character or not, but so far the event's been fine. I know I have some comments
Right.
about
Right
about
there.
stuff that we talked about pre stream, but I mean overall, I think it's pretty great. Not much more to add than that.
Okay. Well, I wanted to establish
Yeah,
the baseline, right? Kind of like,
yeah,
hey, we like Hall of Fame. Like the gears were cool. You're right. Like now with these gears, every one of them becomes at least much more usable. And then, of course, the ones that cost a boatload. The three that were super rare. Macho, I was happy, even though I had to pay money. $40 left my wallet, but I was happy to buy Macho's gears because I could not get them anywhere else. But the three that cost money, elevated to above Bradshaw levels. Brutus is, oh my gosh, insane now. And similarly, if you have a sticks plate on Kurt Angle, whew, wow. But that being said, like, all of them benefited in a big way. Slim, actually, we could talk here real quick. Well, do we want to pre-Ryle Sheik? Let's pre-Ryle Sheik. That'll be good.
Yes,
So,
we do.
Slim, talk to me about Hall of Fame Rey Mysterio because that's the only one, not intentionally, but that's the only one I did not do any video content on whatsoever.
I man, I really like Platinum Gear Hall of Fame Ray. Like I really like him. He you can set him up to two clicks swipe and win, which is super nice. It does about, I don't know, 120 to 130 million depending on
That's
luck and
nice.
RNG and stuff. Or you can get up to the 150, 160 million range
Wow.
by clicking just a little bit more.
Is that Piper
Um,
plates or without
with
Piper?
a Piper plate,
With the
yeah.
Piper. Okay.
So you could do it two different ways. One is with the cross break and anniversary cross break plate,
Yeah.
and then the second one is the Piper build where you throw out pyros and then a bunch of multis. Um, yeah, I mean he is a surprisingly good card with the platinum gear. Like it just I can't believe it made that much of a difference, but it
Yeah.
absolutely made that much of a difference. Two move
Right.
sets that hit over 120 million is awesome, and it puts him way, way, way higher up my personal ranking list for Hall of Fames and Showboat Hall of Fames
Nice.
than he previously was. So
Sheik, let me.
kudos on that one.
Okay, sorry about that. I didn't mean to cut you off. But Sheik, I do want to get your thoughts because not only did they do another entire month with Tekken where there was a Ray and a Dom given out, but this month now they gave you a Ray gear and that Ray is now on the new moment. How would you like to respond, Sheik?
I would like to say that they can keep buffing the weenie in a mask as much as they want to, but at the end of the day, he's still a weenie in a mask, and he's still a big wussy, and he's the most overrated wrestler in the history of WWE. And there's not much more that there's nothing they can do. He's still not the greatest high flyer of all time. He's still not the greatest luchador of all time. He's still a big giant chicken. So it's like they can keep buffing him all they want to, but all I ever hear out of him is cluck 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 buck 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 buck.
Oh. Wow, big thank you, AK6, for subscribing with Prime right as Sheik's in the middle of a rant. I appreciate that so
Yeah,
much. Thank you, thank
yeah,
you, thank you.
yeah. Don't forget that if you have Amazon Prime, that you get one free sub a month that you can give to your favorite streamer. So if you're not using it, Jeff Bezos gets a little more richer. So
Oh wow.
like definitely give it to myself, give it to Champions Chat, give it to Slim Numbers. Just use it or lose it.
These guys right here. Yes. Okay. So, real quick before we go on to the potential flame zone, the rant war here in just a second. Oh, guys, we got a hype train starting here. 1 out of 10 subs for whatever random thing that Jeff Bezos says that I'm supposed to accomplish in my life here. So if you want to give 9 more subs going, that ticks Jeff Bezos. I don't know whatever we were going with that.
Yeah.
But
Well,
what's
here
up?
I'll throw. Oh, I was gonna say I'm gonna throw this out there. If we get 50 Prime subs, Lee'll shave his head. You can see whether he looks like Adam Pierce or not. So, chat, you got your mission
We
going.
didn't talk about that. I think I'm now contractually bound, but dang. Anyways,
Yeah,
whew. Well, real quick before we get onto the flame war side of it, let me
yeah,
just one of these YouTuber things that we gotta do now that I've started now at least is I've now got a merch shop for Champions Chat. Rusty and I have up, so I just want to highlight a couple things really quickly because like I kind of took this idea from others. Obviously, I would say New Rock Stars and the Screen Crush in particular, but they always say like, hey, this is the best way to support the channel, and I see why. Like, because YouTube videos make next to nothing. Streams, a little bit. But, if you're going to do this as a side project and take as much of your personal time with it as we do, it's just nice to do that. So real quick, we've got our official Champions Chat store at championschat.shop. You can support by grabbing the official logo tee. We've got the free to play, like if you want to show off your pride as a free to play player. And real quick, behind the scenes chat, this is the most expensive shirt for me to make. So ironically, the free to play shirt is the one that makes the least amount of profit on the channel, which is hilarious. Then you've got Whaley the Whale, if you want to show off that you are a whale and you know it and you just want others to see it. And then probably, and the yours will hit harder, which Slim, I've got to ask some questions about. I'm getting comments. And probably my favorite, Rusty will return in Avengers Doomsday. So, I made that shirt before Rusty was actually back. He's done a few streams now together this last couple weeks. Before he was back, we did the Rusty will return one, but I still love it. Like parody shirt, so we're good for Disney's copyright stuff. But Rusty will return in Avengers Doomsday. That shirt will be relevant for at least a year if you want to grab that. So anyway, championschat.shop, no WWWs, and thank you guys for supporting the channel. So new thing I'm excited about. Let me just revel for a sec. But now on to the thing. So famously or infamously, as Rusty and I both said, this feels like we're about to go back to the Piper Plate fiasco, or when they took the TP back, or some of those. Like, there hasn't been one of these in a while, but they've happened across the world of champions. So if you didn't know, now you know. So the start of the event, there were these 3 gears: Michelle McCool, Rey Mysterio, and Goldberg, and you could get the platinum gears, plus you could get their previous gears, their gold, silver, on the shop. They cost $750. Last week on the podcast, we talked about how good of a value that was, having no knowledge that the very next week, realistically 3 days later, they were put into events where you could get them for free for playing the thing. Oh, what is this? What is a golden Kappa train? We have a golden kappa. You have a limited time to earn an exclusive golden kappa emote. I have no clue what this is, but we're on a train and we're at level 1, so thank you guys for that. Things are happening on screen, is what I'm saying. Look at that train's going up my head. Ooh, right there, hit me in the head. Anyway, Ikirk, thank you for the 100 bits. Dewey, thank you for the subscribe tier 1. I appreciate you guys so very much. We're hype training it. I love it. First thing in the morning. Anyway, so things happened. Gears came out. We had no way of knowing. Honestly, it's Scopely sent their make good letter, and we can kind of talk about what they said in there. But I know Rusty and I were streaming at the time that it happened, and we were like, oh, that's weird. We didn't really know what to think of it. We didn't have like an initial reaction, good or bad. It was just like, oh, okay. The only thing I kind of said was, well, I don't know how I feel about this, but I always want to encourage Scopely to be generous, and I'd rather they be more generous than take things away and be less generous. So at least there's that. But a lot of people in the community had some big feelings about this, and I think you two both had some thoughts. So I'm going to shut up. Slim, Sheik, whichever you wants to bark a little first. I think there's some thoughts that you have on this, right?
Oh,
Take it
yeah.
away.
All right. So, like I said, we were talking about this a little bit pre-stream. So one of the big things that I always harp on, and I know Lee has been hearing this out of me for years on every single appearance that I've ever been on this podcast, about communication.
Yep.
If they were planning on doing the tours this week, they should have said, hey, you can get the gears early if you want, but we're going to give them away for free next week. That way people could make the decision of, do I want them now or do I want to wait a week?
Right.
And on top of that, if they had had some sort of tour, like a stip tour, a regular tour, doesn't matter, where having the gears would make it infinitely easier to progress, then I'd say, you know what? I'm cool with it, because by buying them early, I got to breeze through these tours, or hey, I got to beat Hell Mode and I got an extra, 10 tokens or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Buying them early, I got nothing out of it. There was no extra tour, there was no advantage that I got out of getting them early versus waiting a week.
Right.
And then on top of that, there were people, I know people can talk, I know about, for me, like, I'm overflowing with resources, so it's not as big a deal for me, but, there might be somebody out there where they're like, oh, do I buy TP and things, or do I get these gears? And, they got the gears, and, not knowing how, the who, what, where, when, why, and how they were going to come out again. Some people out there, I'm sure, were like, you know what, I'll go ahead and throw a 20 or 100 or something out there to get them.
Right.
And, only to find out that, oh, hey, I'm going to use finger quotes since, I'm obviously not on screen, but finger
Here, I'll
quotes.
put it up
Like,
for
oh,
you.
I wasted $20 buying this when I could have just gotten them for free and spent it on something else.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I am happy that they're doing a do right. Me personally, I know some people have this small quibble. I was like, I bought the gears, so I feel like it should have gone to the people who actually got it instead of everybody. But
Right.
I'm glad everybody's getting it. But like I said, that's just a minor thing that I'm throwing out there. But
Right.
I'm glad everybody got something out of it, and they're 3 very, very good plates. So, it wasn't just like hey, we're going to give you a free token. You can choose between a Carmella mask or a Rey Mysterio mask. Here you go.
Yeah. We'll talk about the level of the response here in a moment, but I agree. That was we got to talk about Feud. We got a lot of things to talk about, but this is big. This is on the community's mind. So I want to allow some moments to have some thoughts. Slim, you also had some big feels on this.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't. How do I want to put this? It was a big goof up, in my opinion. So there's two sides to this of what happened, right? This is a gotcha game. I
Yep.
don't think this is any secret at this point in time. FOMO is the entire business model,
Yeah.
frankly.
Yeah.
Like FOMO is what you use to drive the game. And there have been plenty of situations where you use a bunch of resources for something that in 2, 3, 4 months down the line, it takes a significant less number of resources to obtain. And that happens. And you have to understand that's going to happen.
Right.
This is why I don't ever really get mad if I go to like Best Buy, buy a TV, and the TV goes on sale a week later. I just go back to Best Buy and say, hey, I'm still within my return window, or we can make this right. How do you want to do it?
Right.
Slim, sorry to interrupt. I think I was starting with that. I forgot if I said it on stream or off stream. That's the point that I was making was like, hey, if I buy something and it goes on sale next week, I expect him to,
Do a make
credit
good.
the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if they don't, then that's the last time that I shop there.
Yeah, and that's a pretty easy like real world scenario. This is a little bit different than a real world scenario.
Yeah. And sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but like I just
No.
I think I didn't think I finished my thought earlier, so that's why I just wanted to throw. I just wanted to say like, yeah, that's exactly what I would. That's where my analogy was going.
Right.
So I mean, yeah, you've got that aspect of the game. Doing it that quickly though, I mean, it feels bad, and everybody felt it. Everybody
Yeah.
understands how bad it feels.
Yeah. If it were 6 months from now, we'd be like, oh, well, whatever. I've had them for 6 months.
Yeah, I had 6
exactly.
months to use those gears in
Right.
any way, shape, or form that I feel like, and then yeah. So I don't know. It felt bad, obviously, but I think I don't know. That's it. It felt bad. I'm glad there was a mea culpa. I honestly believe the mea culpa was larger than it needed to be.
Okay.
Unbelievably
yeah, I mean, those
so.
plates are spendy normally. Like, everybody in the community just got one of the top tier plates. And we'll talk in a minute if you're still deciding on yours. But yeah, everyone in the community just got at least a 500% or a really good 300% or a really good defensive plate. And even if you have 5 of each of them, there's still plenty of characters you can put them on, I promise you. So, yeah.
Yeah, in many ways, I almost think the mea culpa. I don't know. I don't even know how to vocalize.
I'd rather they
how
default
I
on
feel about it.
generosity. Let's just encourage that.
There you go. There you go.
Because
That's a good
we
way to
could
put it.
say, "Oh, that was too much." And like, "Oh, we heard you, champions, and next time, no, next time we will give you the raised plate, and we'll charge you $1 for it." No.
I'll keep my $1, thank you.
No, you have to pay. It's not optional. Oh, sorry. Keep going, Slim.
No, I mean that's it. Like I have a hard. I'm having a real hard time. Like I don't know. I don't know. The one thing that I hope. I'm glad everybody got a free plate. I'm glad everybody got access to the free platinum gears through the tours this week. These are great things for the community. People are getting upgrades all across their roster. You can be a 1 million roster or a 21 million roster, and something just got better for you.
Yes.
And I appreciate that. That's fantastic. What I hope for more than everybody's roster getting a little bit better over this scenario is to never be in this scenario again.
Right. Yeah.
That's what I really want. Is I want this scenario to not happen again. And I hope that's the big takeaway. Further up the chain than it is down the chain. Down the chain, it feels awesome. Like, hey, cool, we got some cool stuff. That's awesome. That's great. I understand that. I just hope we're never in that position again. Yeah. That's the one key takeaway I hope happens from all of this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I agree with you. I know some people, anytime, like, back when these things were a little more frequent, which again, this hasn't happened in a long time, but uh, there used to be a time where an event would happen, and some people were like, "Oh man, I hope it screws up so that they give me everything," and that's not fun to me. Here's the thing: like, I want a challenge. I know this
Right.
may sound weird. You know, uh, versus some people's opinions. I would rather have an event come out, work properly as intended, earn what I get as intended, and even if I don't hit like a top milestone or get something, I can at least say like, "Hey, I accomplished this much with the effort that I put in," rather
Right.
than it being frustrating because something's broken and then just getting everything. Because then like, what's the point of participating in the event to begin with?
Right. Yeah. I mean I don't enjoy them happening a lot. I will be honest, I love being an agent of chaos, and sometimes when things happen I'm like, ooh, at least it's fun. Like these type moments are fun, although I obviously don't want to discount the hurt people feel over this, because that's not what I think. So Rusty and I talked a lot the last time this happened about intent versus impact. And I keep that in mind. My wife really taught me this as we were learning about her journey with autism and some of those type things, that a lot of times I can say something and my intent is good, but my impact is challenging, right? And so in the same way, like I at least rest in the fact that I think Scopely's intent in both sides of this debacle was good. They weren't trying to screw with the player base. They weren't trying to just make money. I mean, obviously, like they gave them away, like it's the opposite of making money. But the impact was people had possibly spent real world money, or at least in game currency that was literally so super rare because it was the first week you could get it for a month long event that's only 3 weeks. So the impact was bad, the intent was good. Now, obviously, you want both those to line up. You want the intent to be good and the impact to be good. When either of those are off, that's when we start smelling something. But of the three options, right? If the impact is good but the intent is bad, that's where there starts to be the real true, not just hard feelings, but like, ooh, you have broken trust, you have broken, like the sanctity of what bonds exist between a gotcha game and the player base. So at the very least, I can stand on the fact that the intent was good, but the impact was bad. So
Yeah,
that's
and I think that's important. So I want to address chat real quick. Somebody, I'm getting shouted down like, "Oh my goodness, Slim, what are you doing? Shut your mouth! You putting bad opinions out in the world. You were, it's naive to think that Scopely won't screw up." You're absolutely right. I understand where you're coming from, but there's two different types of mistakes in the game.
right.
Okay. Well, I mean, there's multiple, but there's different types of mistakes in the game. This is one of those where the player base initially felt bad because it could have been misconstrued that what just happened was an affront to the player base.
Right.
That's the bad part, and that's the part that and I had to talk to some people, and I had to relax, and I had to like bring myself back off the edge, because I initially was nuclear hot about this, because I was like, how in the world could a game company treat its fan base this way?
Right.
So I was through the moon upset about it, and then started thinking, when I was like, wait, hold on a second, this can't be an intentional error.
Right.
It has to be an unintentional error. Okay,
And
so
it
why
was.
could something like this happen? And
Yeah.
that's where I got back to normal. I am all for mistakes in the game that help out the player base. Remember when everybody got Cora Jade and Trick Liv and Bradshaw and all those other things from those boxes from
Yes.
that
The
one tour? It
bags that
was
were not supposed to be juiced.
awesome. Oh man, it was amazing. Everybody loved that. It didn't hurt anybody whatsoever. It didn't like sow any amount of discord. Everybody just won, and everybody's rosters got a little bit better. The Grant camping debacle is one of those things where everybody's roster got a little bit better, but nobody was actually hurt.
Right.
And there's a distinction there. I understand that mistakes are going to happen. What I hope for is that Scopely doesn't make any mistakes, or continues to try to protect from mistakes that unintentionally rile up the customer base and sow discord and create dissent. That's what I hope doesn't happen going forward.
Right.
I absolutely hope that one day I open up my game and I'm given 120 loot coins for no reason other than somebody pressed the wrong button. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's awesome. I want that to happen. That type of chaos is fantastic. It's the chaos where it can be interpreted in any sort of significant negative way that I
Right.
don't want to happen again. So I wanted to, I appreciate you, Chuck, for bringing it up, because it
Yeah.
is a really good distinction to have.
Right.
You know, sometimes mistakes and chaos and stuff like that are fun. Sometimes it's bad, and I
Yeah.
want the bad stuff to not happen and the good stuff to happen. Maybe a little bit more would be cool. I don't know, but
Yeah.
that's where I'm at.
So here's the unfortunate side of it, because I talk about the generosity, and I want to always encourage Scopely to be more generous. Yes, like you can't just have everything handed to you, otherwise the game's not fun. Like she said, there needs to be a grind element to it. But that being said, before this happened, my hope for the podcast episode today was to talk about how big a win the feud chests were. Oh my gosh. And now we're already past that. So we are going to talk about who to put these plates on in just a moment. But let me just say, I have been, I've taken part in every feud that's happened over the last 7 years in this game. And I don't think I, on average, have felt rewarded for doing so in what I got from it. Usually it's just like, at least I got that. Or like, okay, I got contest points. Like at best it was, at least I got this. This last weekend's feud, I got 3 plates that I was like, oh, if I had gotten one of those, I would have been like, this was the greatest feud ever. And if it was just me, I'd have been like, well, I'm not going to talk about that because I feel bad. But we had people posting in our brag room for the Toxic Mafia server for the faction, in the brag room for Champions Chat's Discord server. I mean, we had so much comments of people saying, I got this from Feud. And if for nothing else, just the fact that they removed the Ray's mask plate entirely. It is not in the feud chests anymore. I personally take that as a win. But yeah, this last feud weekend was so good, and now people are here instead. Like, I hate when something so good happens and then we get brought down. Like, I wish this, if it had to happen, which obviously we're talking about the fact that it didn't, I wish that feud had even a week or two to just marinate in the community of how good that was. So talk to me real quick about feud chests and that kind of stuff. Then we'll get on to who do you put your Tama, who do you put your X-Break on?
Yeah, I got to tell you, I was so stoked, but I will put a small asterisk on this. Guess who got 4 nearing end plates?
What? I got one.
Yeah,
I got one of them this
no.
weekend.
So as I was going through the milestones, I got 2 in one chest, and then when I got to the next one, I got 1, and then when I went to the next one, I got another one,
Wow.
and I was like, "Is this like?" So before, the thing is, the RK Overload plate,
Yeah.
and then the Naomi's jacket plate. Those are the 2 that I got every single feud. And when I when I hit the nearing end plate over and over and over, I like, I always laugh about keeping stuff PG in front of you, Lee.
Yeah.
Let's just say that I would have gotten an R rating right off the bat.
Like, oh, expletive. Yeah, right. I got you.
That's pretty much what it was. It would have been. It would have just been beep 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 beep. What the beep 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 the entire
right. Yeah.
But in saying that, I got a Heartstopper plate. I got 2
Nice.
of the Penta plates, which I already had a few to begin with.
Nice.
But I also got the Leech Rainbow plate. So
Okay.
yeah, I
Kelly.
got 200% gem belts.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was able to recruit. So not only was I able to recruit Obafemi over the weekend, I know this is more of like a, hey, this is just like with the perks of it. I was 125 shards away from Hall of Fame Vader. So with the pulls that I got from the milestones, I was able to get. I got the 200. So I recruited Hall of Fame Vader.
Nice.
With the daily bags that they've been giving out, I finally got the last 40 shards I needed for Hall of Fame Barber. And
Nice. Good timing.
I didn't expect this to happen, but as a happy circumstance of maxing the feud, I finally got enough shards to be able to get mommy off the prize wall. So
Oh,
I
that's a
was
win.
over the moon that I was able to finally get her. And I did all that for free. So, I mean, I was, like I said, so not only did I get great plates, I got Obafemi, I got,
It's
two more
terrible.
characters through that, and I finally got mommy. So, this was a wonderful weekend for me.
Right.
That's all I can say.
Dang. Well, I spent $25, but I didn't have to. I was done feuding. So I spent 25 bucks so I could go to bed. And I did end up getting Oba. I did not get the Ministry Business plate because I didn't do that in time. But those who got him early got that in addition. But I'm trying to think of all of them. I know I got a Nearing End. I know I got a regular Yellow Piper, but I got the Rainbow Crossbreak plate, which allows me to decide, okay, now do I want to run Stephanie Vaquer, triple black or triple blue? I have that option now. Or I could put it on Acro Dragon and surprise people because we've got a video out on the channel. He's way better than you realize with that plate. Slim, how was your feuding? And did the joy of that feud get totally sapped, or is there still some energy there?
So opinions come from personal experience, right?
Yeah.
So I want to make that disclaimer real quick. This feud was the first feud that I have ever maxed while playing this game.
Oh, congrats.
Wow.
Thank you. This is the first time that I ever actually dedicated more than enough time to make sure that I got to the max milestone. And I did that based on all of the hype and all of the great stuff that everybody got.
Uh-oh. I sense something coming.
This might be the last feud I ever max. Because RNG is RNG, and somebody's great weekend could be somebody's looking back at it and going, man, I spent a whole lot of time playing this game. The best thing I got was a 200% Legends trick strap.
Oh.
So for Kamala, I can now run his gym damage setup just fine.
Yeah.
Which is awesome on a blue move damage card. Everything else was a little bit of, like, I got another Devil's Trip. I have plenty. I got 2 Glowing Fates. I rarely use subs. I got a Seth's Radical plate. Those are plentiful and not as impacting as some of the others that were available. Roman's Shades, which I have 3 Rainbow Crossbreak plates, so I will never use these Roman Shades plates. And 2 Black Barber's plates, which I had 3 of already.
Right.
Most of my straps were 40%ers on both gym and move, so those were instantly sold.
Right. Wow.
Yeah. So feud felt like feud to me.
That's what you're saying.
Yeah. So, and that's like, look, I'm glad they got rid of the Reyes Mysterio mask from the Chest of Disappointment. I understand that a lot of people, the Chest of Disappointment wasn't so disappointing. And I understand that there were more chests of disappointment in the feud milestones,
The
or at
chest
least
of
felt like there were
unexpected
more.
excitement. Or no, sorry, unexpected joy is what Zandel called it now.
Well, I mean, chests of disappointment were
maybe.
always chests of unexpected joy, because every once in a while you got something cool from it and you're like, oh wow, that's great. I did not have that experience. So I can't actually, like, I can look at it and look at everybody else's results and be like, okay, maybe feud is a little bit better. My experience was it was a feud. I did get enough. I didn't invest in anything this weekend, so everything I got was just by maxing it. It ended up getting me enough prize wall currency to recruit Showboat Drew.
There you go.
So I got a new card out of it, but I was so close to
top
charts
one,
that I was
too.
going to get him anyway. So
Fair.
I just got him a little bit earlier than normal, right? Like, and so that's why it's RNG, man. It's all RNG.
Yeah, Zandel. Destiny since day one, except I stopped playing before the final shape. So I didn't finish the story, so to speak. But I played since the beta, not even the alpha. Or, wait, yeah, whichever one it was. The alpha, not the beta. Okay, so hopefully, though, your results will get better. All I can say is in all of this, Scopely, keep the feud chests exactly as you had them this month or this weekend for at least a couple months until something better needs to come out. But that was a huge update. That was the first time I've felt rewarded in feud, but obviously, as Slim is saying, your results may vary. Speaking of your results may vary, so we
Sorry for bringing that whole thing down. I just realized that I just came and threw a wet blanket like, it is amazing. Unless your name is Slim Numbers, in which case
because you only had 2 out of 7 chance of getting something good. The rest of us had 5 out of 7.
By the way, there is also something else positive. I always tell y'all I like to come with the positive, even with the negative. Since we're talking about the updated, feud chests, these key pulls have been amazing.
Oh yeah, I was going to mention that. Yes, keep
yeah.
going with that because I literally told people on our breakdown video for the start of the month there's like a 0.00000 chance you're going to get anything good, and then literally I've seen Randy, I've seen AJ, I've seen multiple Kellys drop in the key pulls. I'm just like, what?
Yeah. So if it makes you feel any better, here's your mileage may vary story. So I'm holding on to my keys and my armory loot just in case they have that stip tour like they did last month where they didn't tell us about it, and I did pulls right before it, so I didn't get to participate.
Right.
But I think the first day I did, the first day of the MLC, I actually was able to do 255 key pulls back to back, and I got nothing, just as normal. And then I was like, well, this is par for the course. And then I saw a bunch of people doing 10 pulls, and I was like, what? Like, this person got Randy, this person got, Kelly, which I do have Kelly, but I didn't have Randy. And I just kept seeing people posting it over and over and over. And I was like, what the heck? Like, I was like, is this a mistake? I was like, is there something wrong with the coding where you get, or if you do a 10 pull, you get stuff? So I did another 5 because I'd had enough keys at that point.
You did 5
and then
10 pulls?
I did 5 or maybe 3. I don't remember, but I did 10 pulls and then I didn't get anything. And I was like, oh, come on. You got to be joking me. Really? Like,
I got nothing out of that. Keys have not been my friend, but it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm glad it is for everybody else.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I'm glad that we're seeing more of it because typically, like, I'd only see like a post, a month where somebody got lucky.
Right.
Now I've seen multiple. I'm super stoked about that. And also, I can actually say for the first time in years, literal years, I actually pulled somebody from the keys. I didn't have Hall of Fame Warrior. Now I do.
The worst Hall of Fame poster in the game. Yeah.
I was gonna say he's garbage.
Whoops.
But hey, I got him. I can at least say that much, right?
You got him.
You got him.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, had they not given out the Hall of Fame barber shards, I also got the last 40 that I needed from key pulls from this last one. So technically it would have been 2, but I'm just saying. But hey, regardless, anytime that like pre-loot is better is a big plus in my opinion.
Absolutely. I agree. And yes, the key pulls have been, as Rusty would say, juiced. They've been juiced this month. Not for me, but that's okay. If people in the community are winning, I am okay to take the L, especially on key pulls, with that. But dang, would I love to get AJ out of them. That would be amazing. So,
same here.
Last week on the podcast, oh dang, I got to get used to being better at this. Hold on, I got to do a little promo here real quick for these. So, on the Champions Chat official merch store, which just launched this week, you can get the official podcast tee, which I like, in multiple colors. You can also get the free to play shirt, which ironically is the most most expensive shirt for us to produce, so it makes less than everything else on the channel, which is hilarious. You can get the Whaley the Whale shirt. You can get Yours Will Hit Harder. And my personal favorite, Rusty will return in Avengers Doomsday. So, best way to support the channel, as so many other YouTube channels say, it's just reality of, if you're going to do this, dedicate a ton of time to it. You got to get a little return, otherwise you can't keep doing it. Anyway, okay,
Yeah.
so last week we talked about the kickoff prize wall, which also
Yeah.
was phenomenally good at the time. Now we have to put a little asterisk over the gears and all that. And we did recommend people to get the gears. I did, at least. Slim, I think my knowledge was the two of us were in sync on that. But the
Yeah,
big,
we were.
Sheik, do you need to go? You can say your.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I didn't want to interrupt you. I was going to say I do
You're good.
apologize. I had an appointment at 11, which is why I was driving and I couldn't do that. But I've been hanging around the parking lot, but my appointment's about to come up. So I just like to say, as always, have a blessed one, everybody. Best luck this weekend with what's going on. Best of luck on your key pulls and everything else going on. And real quick, just not to jump ahead, but for the Tama plate, Julius Creed is a great choice for that one. For the Rainbow X plate, Zombie CM Punk,
Yep.
and then for the JD countdown plate thing, Ghostbuster Cena and Jacob Fatu's red blue setup, phenomenal. So just throwing that out there, not trying to skip ahead, but yeah, have a good one, everybody. Sorry I can't hang around till the end, but have a good one, and bye bye.
Bye, Sheik. We
Later, Sheik.
appreciate you so much. Thank you for being on here.
Of
So
course.
I think last week, if I remember correctly, Slim, you and I were in copacetic on this. But we did tell people it's a good idea to get the gears. They're super cheap. They were the least expensive outside of one character, Chelsea Green. And not knowing what was coming in the future, I absolutely stand by that. But just a disclaimer, whenever anybody, especially even a CC like us, tells you, oh, you should definitely take this, it's always that big asterisk of what's on your roster, what's best for your roster. We don't know, and unfortunately, like I've said this before, like I don't know what's on your roster, and then people send me screenshots of their entire roster. I'm like, I don't have, I love you. I appreciate you. I don't have time to go through your entire roster myself. There's coaching rooms for that, literally on our server, Champions Chat, and probably in your faction. But we don't know your entire roster. We don't know what you have, don't have. We don't know what your plate mover currency looks like, blah, blah, blah. So we're always giving you this advice with an asterisk of this is what we think is best. This is, at best, an educated guess. So that being said, Slim and I are going to talk about the 3 plates that are on for this make good currency. And as we talk about this, keep in mind, we're talking about generalities that kind of flow across the community, but may not be the exact right move for your roster. So you're still going to have to think it through yourself and decide based on what works best on your roster. Is that fair, Slim?
That is fair. The new post-it note that I have up is I am not an expert. I am just a dude with a YouTube channel and a microphone. YouTube channels are free and microphones
YouTube
are cheap.
channel
So
and a microphone.
you guys are
Sorry.
you guys are getting what you pay for with me.
Right? Well, but see, that's why I say it's an educated opinion, because you are very versed in this game. But speaking of, the community has 3 plate options on there. The Tama's chest, which is a 300% buff to purple gems if you make 6 or more trap gems, as I remember it. The Rainbow X, which is a 500% boost if you make 4 or more X gems. And the Eyes of Judgment, which is create, I think it's still 6 or more countdown gems, and you take away your opponent's MP. I believe it's 6 MP on that. So all 3 of these are top shelf plates. These are ones that belong on the top shelf, so to speak. And there's not necessarily one that is better than another, but who are some of the places that you would recommend putting these plates on, Slim?
So there's the Thomas plate is a little bit thinner than you would think. I spent some time kind of researching that and trying to figure out a good spot for it. And it's pretty thin, actually. It is Julius Creed, of course.
Yep.
That's the most
That's the
famous one.
yeah.
Um, the second most famous one is the Trickster Alexa Bliss.
Yep.
So you can set the one move and swipe win.
Yep. Got a video on that one coming
Which
out
is
too soon.
That's probably my favorite place for it.
Yeah.
And then the third one actually is, funnily enough, because I just brought it up, Kamala and his gym damage build.
Oh, not where I would go, actually. Okay.
It does north of 120, and it's pretty easy.
Yeah.
And you don't really have to interact with the gym board that much. It's not like a stand on your head to make it work kind of deal. It's just click, 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 boom, 120, 130. So Kamala is actually pretty decent at gym damage, as much as I was downplaying it earlier. It is an extremely viable moveset.
Yes.
But those are the three that I really found. And then there's other places you could put it on. EO Sky.
I was going to say EO Sky, like I know that's not the most popular build for her anymore, and actually I don't run her that way anymore, to be quite honest, but I love it on EO Sky. That is my favorite build of hers to run. I just hate how reversible it is.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
It's there. I just have a hard time saying, hey, go get the Tama plate and run it on EO Sky.
Yeah. Well, but another good shout is, so I have 2 Tama plates on my roster. Spoilers, I did take the Tama plate. I now have 3. But my 2 Tama's plates, one of them lives on Invisible Cena, because not only does it allow him to do over 100 million damage, it's the only way to get him to hit any damage nowadays. So just by default, I was like, it took me forever, 5 years to get that stupid poster. I'm gonna find a way to make him work, and that's how you do it with the Tama plate. So yes, that is the other one there. EO's strong even without it. You're right, Nukenator. You're right. What's up, CM Punk? So any others? I think that pretty well. No, that's not true. Slayomi's another good one.
Slayomi can use it.
Yeah.
Those are the only ones off the top of my head.
Brutus can, others, but like, you're not using it. You're not using Brutus his best way in the current meta if you're focusing on the purple gems. Focus on the black gems, but he can use it.
Now you can squeeze a square peg into a round hole and make the Thomas plate work on a whole bunch of different people,
right?
But like, why? Unless it's a absolute passion project,
right. That's honorable mention.
Like you can force it to work, but
yeah.
But those are I feel like are the main ones, and I feel like I'm also forgetting. There's one out there.
Tama? Well, it is his plate.
Yeah, there you go.
You can proc it twice.
You can use it on Tama.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, so that is the Tama's plate. That is the one I took, by the way. Now, the only reason for that is because I took the Rainbow X off of the prize wall at the start of the month. So I already had gotten one, and I'll tell you where I put it in just a second. But the Rainbow X, now, statistically, numerically, the biggest damage of the 3 plates, because Tama's 300%, X-Break is 500%. So you went first on that one. I'll just give my few quick thoughts on this, but Punk's number 1 place for it, and I have a video on this, by the way, so you can go watch that as well. But Powerhouse Punk, Zombie Punk, absolute best place for it in my mind. He buffs all gem damage by like 300 or 450% with his finisher, and then you get a 500% buff there. I'm pretty sure it's 450. So you're getting close to 1,000% damage boost just with those 2 things, and the move is built in. Then Acropunk, especially if you use the Maze Crown plate with him, is, oh my goodness, levels of fantastic with it. And then one that's kind of outlier that I wouldn't have thought of until Blueski started doing videos with me this last last month or 2 is APA Bradshaw. APA Bradshaw is really good with it. And in fact, Slim Numbers, why don't you tell them why they should check out your video on Bradshaw?
Yeah, independent of Blueski and Lee, I found Bradshaw last night because of my friend the Chads. that dude will hit 160 with it. It's
Yep.
super clicky. It's clicky, but woo, woo, it goes pretty big for a card that most of us should have by now and has got a little bit of age on him.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, he was part of that oopsie we talked about earlier, for sure. But
yeah,
and we
one of
also
the
have
bigger
a
things.
Bluesky and I have a video on that coming out. But because I've been trying to blitz so much content I possibly can before I start my second full time job up again, it's like 2 or 3 weeks from now that I've got it scheduled to release. And so just go to Slim Numbers' video. Mine won't ever get a view because his has already covered it. But that's okay. You know, it works out this way. Chuck Rick did post this way, this finger here, in there saying that Punk is probably okay with the green. Let me just say though, you're right. But the biggest thing comparatively to like the I don't know, Leech or the others where there's a good chance that your person is going to only do like Tiffy, only blue gems, you know, so you're fine with a blue plate on her. The X and the rainbow, by definition, are breaking the entire board. And usually, not always, but usually, your person that you're using that on isn't changing the whole board to a specific color, because otherwise, that kind of also defeats the point of X and cross break plates. So, yes, you could probably do a green one, but at the same time, you're breaking the whole board. So, you're always better with a rainbow on there. And then also Michelle McCool is a good shout. Triple purple or green purple purple. There's a few different ways you can run her. What are some? I've left a couple off. What are some other places? And then somebody asked about Armor King build. We'll try to get to that in a minute. I'm not ignoring it. We're just on a specific task right now. So Dirty Dom of course is the one I was going to say is the free to play option. But sorry, Slim. I'm trying not to take all of them so you can say some too. What are the other places?
Dirty Dom, I'm actually going to go back to Dirty Dom. You could probably get away with just running a black X plate on him.
That's
However, going back to Armor King, you could put one on Armor King as well. His Juggernauts do create enough X breaks to trigger the Rainbow X, and he does blow up the board Rainbow. So that will help along with the, what is it, like if you have the gear X25s all turning yellow or something, like
adds 22.
it's gnarly.
It's great.
Yeah.
I still don't use. I've got his gear. I still don't use him anymore. Or already. I couldn't even say anymore because I never used him that much. But I need to. I just didn't have the toys for him, and then I forgot and didn't get the Rainbow X plate like I probably should have. Dang it! Should have waited till today.
The other dark horse for the Rainbow is Acro Ultimate Warrior. You can trigger it a bunch.
It just takes
like
a lot of clicks.
It does take a lot of clicks, but you can trigger it a bunch. I have a video on him back when he was a CSS a couple months ago, and I was looking at him. I was like, "Oh, wait, here you go.
Yeah.
You can get 100, like literal hundreds of millions. It's not just in the 100 million range. You can get into the 2 and 3s with Echo Warrior, just depending on how long you want to suffer through it. It's not a fast move set by any means.
No,
but it's cool.
We also have that video coming out soon too. I've done a bunch in the plate series, and then all of a sudden I'm like, crud! Now they're all relevant, but they're not out anyway. So,
but those are the only other two that really talk about with the Rainbow X. Anywhere that you would use a monocolor X break plate, you could also use the Rainbow and get an extra 200 base gem damage out of it. Which is not nothing, but it's not like a huge amount. Very rarely is that going to be enough to like make or break it. For instance, I was testing with Powerhouse Kurt Angle last night, and you can double proc the Rainbow Plate.
Wow!
And it still did only 50 million. I was
gonna say.
So like
that's like Rusty and I did with the Hall of Fame Neidhart, and it did not do good. It doesn't work.
Yeah, it just kind of
but
falls.
even the Rainbow Snowfall was. It was okay.
Yeah, you got to have something else there. Yeah. It's not a, hey, I have this plate now. Everybody who uses X breaks are going to be world beaters. Nah, unfortunately, it doesn't quite work that way. You still have to supplement damage somewhere else.
Right. Yep. And then the eyes, not the viscera eye, but the eyes of judgment, the bandana plate. I mean, the easiest answer for that is anybody who makes enough countdown gems. Literally anybody. Tell me why that is a defensive only plate, Slim, For those who don't know, because
Well,
that's a pretty rare plate. Not a lot of people have it. And so I think because they don't have it, they're like, ooh, shiny, new. So talk to me about the defensive way to play it.
so the Eyes of Judgment plate is the plate that I got, and I
Oh,
got it because I have multiple Tamas and I have multiple Rainbow X's. I did not have a single Eye of Judgment.
right.
I don't have any plans for it, but
There you
it
go.
fell into my lap. So I was like, yeah, I'll take the one that I don't have over the
Good.
ones that I do have. Realistically, it's good for controlling matches.
Yeah.
The in the zeitgeist, subs are bad, right? Defensive play is bad. You want to go for a
I like
T1
so.
KO
Right.
every single time,
Yeah.
and that's what you should be doing. That's not the only way to play the game, and that's not the only way to win the game. You
Right.
can control turns and you can control the flow of the match by using things like submissions, MP down trainers, and the Eye of Judgment plate. So
Right.
if you're in a situation where either you go second or you just really want to have a strong defense, throw an Eye of Judgment plate on somebody who makes countdown gems. Jacob Fatu is the best, not the best, sorry, the
Among
most
the
well
best.
known
Yeah.
places to put that because he doesn't need a lot of MP to run.
Right.
He's going to do enough damage without plates that you don't need the plates. He's got a sub, throw some MP down coaches on him and throw the Eyes of Judgment. And then all of a sudden, you're never getting MP
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
Ever. And you're
He's a
just stuck there
nightmare.
swiping gems while he is cycling through his moves and doing a whole bunch of damage to you, and there's nothing you can do to stop it.
Right.
AJ Lee is another place that you could possibly put it, especially on defense, since she
Yes.
has one MP moves. MP down coaches don't affect it. You're still going to get hit by all that stuff.
Yep.
So the Eye of Judgment plate's great for anybody who makes 6 or more countdown gems that you want to use in defense. Paired with a 1 MP move, especially if the 1 MP move makes countdown gems, that's where you get the most value out of the
Right.
Eye of Judgment plate.
And spoilers, all of the original Judgment Day members, pretty much, not the new Judgment, but the OG ones, like when Rhea was in it, pretty much have countdown gems, which is partially why I think they did that, because it was like this will float between that era's Dom, that, but of them, Finn's kind of usable at this point, but really Purple Rhea is about the only one you're actually going to use in battle, and I don't think
Mhm.
that's going to be the best build for her. So realistically, your Jacob Fatu's and some of those are going to be the better. Like Ali, Striker Ali has a countdown build. There's a lot of people that have countdown builds, and that's why I say it kind of works on anybody. But unlike the other plates where there's like oh man, you really should put this on Punk, or you really should put this on Julius. With the Eyes of Judgment, it's more like choose your own adventure. Like this is the key you need when you find a door you can't unlock. That's when you use it, is when you're like, oh, I think I have something for this. Hold on. Haha! That's when you use the Eyes of Judgment. It's not necessarily the go-to. Yeah, definitely, Chuck Rick. It would work on an Arcade Assassin. Well, yeah, she creates 7, right?
Yep. She
She
makes
makes
7.
7, so she'd be fine with it. Yeah, and I mean that's a
You can
great
use it on
place.
Haku. Haku makes 7.
Yep,
You can use it. I think Kofi has a countdown build. You can use it on
that's what
Kofi.
Freak said.
You could. I mean, there's a ton of places that you can put it. Um, but it's really dependent on what do you need it for, right? I mean, you could put it on Alexa Bliss, Zombie Alexa
Could.
Bliss,
Yeah,
if
you
you
could.
wanted to. Like, yeah,
Right?
you put enough entourage on Alundra Blaze, and you could use it.
I don't know if I'd do that,
Do
but
you want
okay.
to?
You
I
can.
don't know.
Just
You
because
can.
you can doesn't mean you should. My mom taught me that when I was just a wee
Well,
little
I don't
lad.
know. Maybe you're in a situation where you have a 6-star bronze Alundra Blaze. You don't want to use any resources. You got some extra strap mover or plate mover currency laying around, and you've got a extreme rules tour battle that you have to beat. All right, well, here's the Eye of Judgment. I'm going to sap all your MP, and then I'm going to figure out how to win with Alexa Blaze or Alundra
Yeah.
Blaze. Right? I mean, that's kind of going back to what you're saying. It's a key that
Yeah.
unlocks doors that you didn't know that were locked. Like
Right.
that's where you use it.
Yeah. Fair enough. Well, I am running a little bit short on time. I got just a few more minutes. Slim, anything else we need to dust off on this episode quickly?
Yeah, I kind of want to circle back and talk about the MLC as a whole.
Okay, do it.
There's a lot of cool stuff happening.
There
All
is.
right. As much doom and gloom as I feel like I've spoken out there, um, there's a lot of cool stuff happening. Feud feels better overall looking at from the community. The keys look better overall as far as the results that you get from key pulls. I personally like the fact that Armory Loot is back to split into three, so you can choose what you get.
I think I'm
Right
in the minority
there,
on that one, to be honest, because I liked it
I
the
think
old way, but I just don't like that you have to choose one and then go all in on that all month. Like I like if
actually
there
we've
was a way to
done
share milestones, that would be cool. But
the community. The community has dug into the math there
okay,
in order to pull more of the left-handed armory coins, the left bicep armory coins.
yeah,
You actually do like 2 megas on one and then switch over to 2 megas on the other and then switch over and do 1 mega on the third.
that's how you
And
get the most.
that's how you get the most. Yeah, I'll see if I can't
This
figure
is
out. I
good
saw it
information,
somewhere.
Slim. Make a video, and I'll put it on the channel, or I mean on
I
the.
thought I thought somebody did. Yeah, I'll search for it. But yeah, the way to actually maximize the left-handed biceps is to bounce around and not pull from the same one,
Well, then
which is
maybe I
cool.
do like
So
it better. Wow,
yeah, so,
wow.
yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Sorry, I interrupted though. Go back on your MLC thoughts cuz that was just like ooh, I'm learning. This is great. Sorry.
so yeah, I mean, because of all of that, there is cool stuff happening this MLC. And I don't want to naysay that. The problem is it's being overshadowed, and that's the shame. In my opinion, it's being overshadowed. There's a cool new
Yeah.
moment that we didn't even talk about that just landed in the game.
Right?
We've got two cool new gears that everybody got that just landed in the game. There's more gears coming out for some really popular cards, if not good cards, that are coming in the game. Some of the stuff that they're doing to streamline the contests, I really like.
Yeah.
Um, Jury is still out on the talent up thing. I think I actually miss talent up the way it used to be, but that's
I
that's
haven't
a
done a talent
small
up video
thing.
since they changed it, and that was one that like got a bunch of views. Like there's no reason why I shouldn't do them.
Yeah,
I was like, it doesn't really hit the same now. So,
yeah. I mean, there's a chance that the Titan leaderboards that were announced this weekend coming out could be very cool
could
and
be.
engage a lot of the player base on that game mode again, which is a very fun game mode in my opinion. So, like, there's a bunch of neat stuff happening.
Neato.
Make sure to remember that all of this neat stuff is happening and not focus on the oh man, they really screwed something up. That
Yeah.
that's lame. You know,
Yeah.
don't be a goldfish. Um, just be a goldfish.
Short-term memory?
Yeah, done. Just
Done. It's
don't
over.
have any.
Right.
It's over.
No, I
That happened.
absolutely agree.
It's
I
gone.
think that is far, 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 far more worth emphasizing than anything else we've said today. Is the good of this MLC has far outweighed the bad. And I'm the guy who's been very honest on Oba's terrible. I won't use him again unless you want to use dripsticks, which I'm not going to. Uh, Trick is fine, right? Soul, they did a change, so like I, I almost wrote in the super secret room like this MLC is very underwhelming, and I didn't hit send, and thank goodness I didn't because it was feud weekend, and then all of a sudden the feud stuff happened. I was like, never mind. This could be one of the most rewarding MLCs I literally have ever experienced in this game. Like it's on track for me to have gotten more of this MLC, maybe not characters, but other stuff than any other MLC. So I'm glad my mouth because right, I almost put my foot in it. But yeah, you're right. You're right. So
Yeah,
good shout,
there's
Slim.
cool stuff happening. By the way, because we glossed over this too, talking about how the pulls for keys are so great.
Right,
How many of us are going to get a Striker Goldberg and a Showboat Seth,
right.
both of which are pretty awesome.
Great
At the very
trainers,
least,
coaches, but both
yes,
of them I mean, Seth more than Goldberg, but great fighters overall. For most rosters, they're worth using as fighters.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I mean, there that's cool, which kind of makes me hope that um, uh, MLC next or 2 months down the line actually has a lot of Juggernaut builds,
Yeah.
because I think Juggernaut builds are very fun.
It's a good building too.
Um, I mean, there's all sorts of like, don't let the negatives of this month outweigh the positives, because the
Right.
positives are there.
Yeah.
Um, and let's just kind of hang on and see what happens.
Agreed. Before I do my little in spiel, do you have a quick setup for Derek, 1985 WWE King, Armor King in Titan mode? Because one, I don't
Uh,
do much with Titan mode. I just get it done, and that's the best I do. That's why you don't see a lot of videos on the channel for Titan mode, because I don't honestly like it. I would love it if it was a weekend mode. I feel pressured with it being a daily mode, so I just get it done and move on from life. But two, I haven't used Armor King in a while. So do you have a build for Derek? Because I don't.
Not right now. The build that I had for Armor King got patched out. He could go infinite. Um,
Yeah, that's
but
true.
they patched out the infinite glitch. But he
Dang.
used to be able to go infinite. I might be able to squeak out 1 billion with him, but that's maybe about it. I can go
Okay.
back to the lab um and see if I can't work something out. Unfortunately, Armor King I don't think is set up to be the best
Yeah.
acro for Titan. But if he's all you got, he's all you got.
Well, there you go, Derek. Sorry. It was a terrible answer from both, but that Slim at least had a usable one. I didn't even have a usable one. So, anyways, okay. So, for those who haven't tuned out, I appreciate you. And yes, I am going to just promote merch for, a couple times in each video. Let me just tell you why, though, real quick. Those at least kind of hear my heart. So, we've been doing this channel for 3 years, which is crazy. Like Rusty and I realized that on Friday, like, oh my gosh, we've been doing this for 3 years. For 98% of the time we've been doing that, well, I shouldn't say quite that long, but for a large portion of it, we got nothing out of it. And I don't say that like flippantly, like other than just the enjoyment of the community, which is the most that's why we did it. But like both of us have jobs. Like I have two full-time jobs to do what I do, and then I do this on the side. And I'm sure Slim can attest the same thing. Like we're doing this out of passion and heart. So it's not that I want to go corporate all of a sudden and monetize everything and blah blah blah. But somebody said something that really helped me understand the true reasoning behind some of this. They just flat out said, and it was actually a conversation we were having about Twitch, because I wasn't and haven't up until recently done anything with subs or like those type of things, the goals, all that. But somebody said, dude, like you are putting hours of your life and in your very rare free time to do this, you should at least get something out of it. So I'm just opening up the option. I'm by no means asking everybody to go and do anything with this, but when you like, when you sub, and by the way, thank you guys who have subbed on this stream. I put things on screen now. It's not like the cool ones that Merrick's and Professor used to have, or Merrick's has, Professor used to have, but at least there are some things, just little out there, and just my heartfelt congratulations, because truly, like I do this out of the fact that I just love this community. I truly love this game. I truly love doing these streams. I enjoy being with you guys, having fun. But like I said, that person's words really resonated. We're like, you're doing this anyway. Why not get something from it if you can? And so as long as that stays the heart. So we talked about impact versus intent earlier in the stream. The intent is not to, oh gosh, now he's just talking about these shirts again and stuff like that. The impact hopefully is right. The intent is literally just to say, like, you know what, literally, like, yes, the YouTube channel is monetized. It pays for a mega poll usually. I mean, honestly, that's what I do with the YouTube money is if I'm lucky, I get a little more than a mega poll out of that at this stage in the game. So it's not like we're making money on this channel or anything like that. But there are ways that we can do better to just utilize our time in such a way that it is possible, so that if some things happen, like, my goodness, my wife and I haven't taken and this is not pity party Lee, sorry, but just an anecdotal that came to mind. My wife and I haven't taken a true vacation in like 4 or 5 years. It's just not in the cards. It's not in the budget. So if there are ways that we can do certain things that would then open up avenues for more fun in life, that's why I'm doing that. So, yeah, Slim, I didn't want to cut you out of the conversation, but before I plug the merch, I just want to say subscribe to Slim Numbers, because also his channel just got monetized and he's not doing this for the money. He's on here because he appreciates you guys. He literally sits with his calculator brain, and sometimes a calculator, for hours, because this is what we're passionate about. Slim, any thoughts before I give the plug one last time and then have to say sayonara because I have to be out in 5?
No, that's no, I just appreciate y'all. Always very humbled by the fact that I get to do this. It's pretty cool. So thanks, everybody.
Yeah. Well, and on Friday's video, we mentioned Slim, even though he wasn't there for that one, but did even say, like, one of the best ways you can support your local champions YouTubers is to take a TV in your room that you're not going to use throughout the day, go to Slim Numbers channel, there's a button that says play all, and hit play all and leave the room and don't come back. Just let it play every single video that's on that channel, because that tells the YouTube algorithm, oh, people want to watch this. It gives watch time, which is the biggest thing they care about. When you cut out of videos in a minute or two, I mean, that's fine. You know, it's you don't like it, you go, right? But that's the number one thing YouTube's paying attention to in a lot of instances. Gives views, and it tricks the algorithm into telling people, like, oh man, more people want to see this content. And if the channel's monetized, which ours is, Slim's is now, it gives ad revenue, which is not much. Again, maybe a mega a month comes from the ad revenue that I get from YouTube, but still, it supports the channel. So there you go. Anyway, so let me give you a quick shout out to our merch store. We now have it championschat.shop. It is not www. It's just the http://championschat.shop. You've got the official logo tee in multiple colors on there. You've got the free to play shirt, which one last time is actually the most expensive shirt on the store for me to make, which means I make less off of that shirt than any other. And I absolutely love the irony of that. I think it's hilarious. Also, oops, where'd they go here? There we go. Also, we've got Whaley the Whale. If you are a whale in this game and you just want to show it off, because let's be honest, if you are a whale, you show it off in other places. You might as well show it off in the streets. Yours will hit harder, which I didn't get to ask Slim about, but he and I will talk about that one there. Rusty will return in Avengers Doomsday. If you would like to share a message of hope with those around you, we do have our Hope Lives Here. It doesn't just live on my shelf, as somebody had said in the comments section there. And then this one I'm very careful about because of the entanglements on it. But I have opened up to some factions that we've talked to. If you have a faction logo that you would like to get on a shirt, we can work out some conversation about that. This one, you'll notice, is priced lower than anything else on the store. And the reason for that is I literally priced it as close to cost as I absolutely possibly could, so that nobody was thinking that we were making money off of it or something like that. It's close to cost, plus the margin you need for taxes, fees, and all that kind of stuff, that I can possibly get that shirt. But it's just cool that factions can show that off. So Whaley should be the cheapest. That'd be hilarious. Anyways, all right, so that's my little plug. If you guys want to buy a shirt, hey, like I say, it literally is the best way to support the channel, because views are huge. I love them. Thank you very much for them. But, you know, in terms of the monetization side, they do very, very little, whereas the shirts bring a little bit better margin on stuff. So that's all I've got for us. I do want to give one quick shout out one more time to Pelkey as well. If I'm shouting merch stores, Pelkey made me a custom Seth mutant, and it is literally super cool, super high quality. So you can see his shop right there on screen as well. So anyways, that's all I've got, Slim. Let you have the final words, and then we'll close out the stream.
Ooh, I don't have any final words.
Okay. My final words are no comment.
No comment. Appreciate everybody hanging out on the stream today. Appreciate everybody who's watching this on YouTube. Appreciate everybody who allows us to do this. Talk to you next time.
Absolutely. And the intro is not working on OBS, so there's literally no way to just be like the boom There it goes away. Goodbye. So I'm just going to have to end the button now. Bye.